Absolutely hope the Brewers lose. Welcome to the 2000s, not the 90s comedy movie draft or fantasy football league. The other one of the 2000s. Thanks again to Wes for creating the largest theme that has ever been placed to a theme fantasy football league. But
another week is upon us.
We do have our winners. We've got our losers. I'm fresh off seeing Joker 2, fully adieu.
And were you gaga over it?
Gonna have to listen to the podcast to find out.
Oh, greeny tease.
A little tease. We did record an episode about it since it is kind of a Batman movie.
Nice.
But I will say that the first movie, the 2019 Joker movie, is more of a Batman movie than the second movie because the two worst scenes in the Joker 2019 involve young Bruce Wayne being in them, which are very terrible scenes in an otherwise pretty great movie.
It would surprise you to know I haven't seen that one, but it's on my list.
Yeah. On HBO Max, fantastic rewatch. I hadn't seen it since it was in theaters. Watched it again before this movie and enjoyed it quite a bit. Not that I enjoyed Joker 2. I wouldn't tell you that.
You know what else you enjoyed? A fantasy football win this week.
Woo! I finally faced a team that didn't score 120 points.
And I think Jaden Daniels is real.
Could be.
Not only that, the Commanders, the football team, the unnamed team that must not be named, great offense.
Yeah. Brian Robinson, Jaden Daniels carrying my team to over 100 points basically every single week. I am the first winner of the week. Me versus Libby. I come away with the win while getting 0 points from Kyle Pitts.
Who needs them? Who needs a tight end?
Wesley kindly tried to take him off my hands. I can't remember if it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. And I was like, nah, I'm going to ride this out. And I'm kind of regretting that currently because I don't think I could ship Kyle Pitts off for anything.
You could probably drop him.
I will not. No. I refuse to. He will live on my bench.
You have obvious starting running backs, Zach Moss and Brian Robinson Jr., though.
Yeah.
Zach Moss, the hero of Ross's team last year, is on another football team and still doing great.
Yeah, I got a fun trade proposal to Ross that may involve Zach Moss.
You also had DeAndre Swift on your bench who finally had a good game.
Yeah, but I didn't need him. Unfortunately, yeah. Did you like my little knowing Patrick Surtain Jr. has been a shutdown corner all year and is probably going to take out Garrett Wilson, but I can't not start Garrett Wilson, so I'm going to pick up Allen Lazard and put him in my flex?
I did see that you did that, and I knew exactly what you were doing. It's not like
I didn't, obviously hindsight's 2020, and I should have just done the full replacement and just put Lazard in for Wilson and started Swift in the flex. But I chickened out halfway and kept them both in. But it turned out to be the right decision.
Rodgers loves his old friend Allen.
Yeah. So watch. Here's a little tip for you guys. Watch out number one wide receivers playing the Broncos because Surtain is legit and has shut down basically all number one so far this season.
Revis Island.
DK. Yeah, DK Metcalf had his worst game of the year when they played the Broncos. Little tip for you going forward. But, speaking of DK Metcalf and the Seattle Supersonics, Kenneth Walker.
Drew finally got his game. Drew, because I'm committed to this job and I did my research, Drew is number one in points for, number one in points against.
Yeah.
Insane.
He's a hero. Kenneth Walker comes roaring back, 31 points. Was also helped out by the 49ers defense that had 21 points. Always love to see a defense contributing to a victory.
Double-digit defense and double-digit kicker.
Baker Mayfield, who has to be a top 5
QB1.
quarterback.
QB3 actually currently.
QB3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Huge game. Drew is our leader in points for the week at 140.
His bench was also good too.
Game number 3. Somehow Wes is 3-1. He found his replacement quarterback. He put Fields in. Fields had a great game. 27, basically 28 points. I was looking at your guys' score, and I was trying to figure out how Wes got to his point total. Because if you just look at it like really quickly, it looks like you should win. And then you see Koo at the bottom at 20 points. And you're like, oh, that's why.
Yep, 20 points from the kicker. I think he had a game winner and just a bunch of long kicks. That always helps. And Jordan Mason had a good game too.
Who needs Christian McCaffrey when you got Jordan Mason?
Yeah, well, Jordan Mason and 2 working Achilles. And Rashee Rice had 0, might have an ACL, might not. Nobody really knows. But the bottom half of Wes's bench, even it did 14 points from Pat Freiermuth, which I wonder if he was thinking Fields to Freiermuth on Pittsburgh's offense. That was probably intentional. But
yeah, Freiermuth was who he was going to trade me for Kyle Pitts.
I'm pretty sure that's the most points Freiermuth has ever gotten because he usually averages like 2 or 3.
Yeah, he's been especially bad this year. Game number 4, Tom
gets off the schneid.
He's on the board. An 88-81 victory.
It counts. It counts.
I talked Sam up last week as potentially being number 2 in the power rankings. He had a huge week last week, thought he was one of the best, strongest teams, and then he loses to the worst team in our league. And it was CeeDee Lamb with 20 points for Tom, leading the way. Michael Pittman had a solid game. Rashid Shaheed must have had 3 catches and found the end zone because he had 11 points. And he finally thought that he, found his quarterback. Didn't really. But, yeah, Tom scrapes away a victory there.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's good to get that first one in the books.
I'll talk more about Sam when we get to the losers because he did another very frustrating thing, but that's just what Sam does. 5th game of the week, Lucas is the winner, led by Derrick Henry. Huge game, 34.4 points. Yeah. A lot of it coming on a humongous run that
it is scary.
Probably sealed the deal for a lot of
scary to see a person who is as big as Derrick Henry running that fast. He is a freak of nature.
Yeah, I think over 20 miles an hour at top speed. Anthony Richardson, bad. Jonathan Taylor, though, good, but injured now. Has an ankle sprain, so we're going to see how that's going to work its way out. Stephon Diggs had a big game. Did he have a throwing touchdown as a part of the 16 points?
Well, wait. Yes, he did. I'm pretty sure he threw a touchdown. And I also know he threw a touchdown.
I know he threw a pass, yeah. I think there was some wide receiver that they showed that now Jared Goff has more fantasy points than.
I saw that tweet too, that Jared Goff catching a touchdown pass has more touchdown catches than. I think Deebo Samuel was on that list, and Ayuk and a few others. Super cool. Love football.
Fantasy football especially. Nathan keeps rolling. He's our final winner of the week. He was led by Chuba and Jaden Reed. Prescott had a good game. Kyron Williams, always solid. Nathan's got a really good team again.
Yeah, he does.
Even with Breece Hall only scoring like 3 points. It's just somehow he got to keep Kyron, so he didn't have to worry about paying him extra, and then just picks Chuba off the scrap heap, and he's now a top 5 running back.
Not to mention he drafted Jaden Reed for $5, which is looking like a bargain now.
Yeah, I think people were kind of thinking that he'd be the most prolific Packer wide receiver, but he's so clearly the most prolific. Losers. Libby's our first loser. He's been one of our top teams in the power ranking so far, and could only scrap together 79 points. A weird off week for Josh Allen as the Ravens kind of bulldozed away the Buffalo Bills, who are hot. Buffalo Bills are hot.
Yeah.
And they got beat down. Amon-Ra had a great game, but Zay, Bowers, Smith, and Jigba, just not a lot of production from the peripheral guys.
No help from the defense or kicker. I mean, like I said earlier, if you get over 10 points from a defense and kicker, you're probably going to win your matchup. And when you get less than 5 from each, you're not going to get any help at all.
Yep. Seth, who I believe, he's game. He did points from like 60.
Yeah, I
chance that game destroyed. So
yeah.
Just didn't quite get the production from Cam Akers, who made a spot start. Here. And I will carry the show while Tim cannot hear me, apparently.
Yep. I'm back. I had to move.
Okay.
That's where it's helpful to have a chat. So I think I caught that you were talking about my team.
Yeah, I was saying the last thing I said was that Nico Collins might be the number 1 wide receiver at the end of this year.
Yeah, good keeper. That's pretty much the only good thing I have going, though. I was talking.
I mean, him and Chase, you got 2 of the best wide receivers going.
I had the pleasure of talking to Stefan in person last night because he was in Madison, and I shared with him that I think I regret the Jahmyr Gibbs trade officially now because J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers aren't doing it.
Nope. Sam, boy, oh boy. Really disappointing. Did not get a big Kyler game. Kamara's still playing solid. Malik Neighbors, good again. Again, lost on the peripheral. Rome Odunze did not repeat his performance from last week. But Sam picks up another guy from the Bears, doesn't start him, and Roshan tumbles in for a touchdown. Sam is the best at just picking these random guys up that end up scoring touchdowns.
It's a sixth sense. It's too bad he didn't put him in his lineup, though.
Unbelievable.
Kyler Murray's bad. So is Travis Etienne.
Etienne is suspect.
I don't think he's a starting running back anymore.
I don't know about that. And Khalil Shakur, again, Buffalo was down, so he did not have as big a game as we've been used to. Ross. Boy, oh boy, Ross.
It's not a good season for Ross.
Pollard had a good game, but just a lot of low point totals from everyone else. When you're not getting guys in the 20s and barely guys getting into the 10s across the board, not looking good. I had a quick glimpse at Ross's starting lineup going into week 5 with the bye and with some of the injuries. I
think the Patrick Mahomes magic, I don't know where it is. I know they've had a tough year with injuries, but
Mahomes is a weird fantasy quarterback because all of his throws, except for the big one to Xavier Worthy this last week, are like 2 yards, and then you just hope that the wide receiver can run the rest of the way.
He's kind of like Travis Kelce too, where I think they both just kind of save it for the end of the season when they need to, and they're kind of game managing a little bit at this point.
They're the most annoying. Kansas City is the most annoying team of all time because I looked at their score and it was like 10-3 going into the third quarter, and I didn't look again until later in the day. And even before I saw, I'm like, I bet you the Chiefs still squeaked this one out.
Yeah,
17-10, of course. Just find a way.
That's all they need to do.
Stefan had 110 points. That's pretty successful for this week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he played Nathan and lost by 6 points. Lamar was good. Jahmyr Gibbs was good. Mike Evans, good. Wan'Dale Robinson, solid performance. Just, ran into a buzzsaw with Nathan and didn't get any points from his defense.
Yeah. I think that this team is getting better, though. I think we were a little bit skeptical at the start of the season, but I do think Stefan's team is getting better. And that's maybe my buyer's remorse talking with Jahmyr Gibbs, but it's looking pretty good.
Yep. What do we got to look ahead to?
You picked up Jordan Addison for $40. Or how much was it?
It was 40. Did you put the 30 in?
I did. Yeah. This is the first time in waiver claims where I've actually looked at the offers report, because I managed to snag Kareem Hunt, but I put more of my money towards Kareem Hunt and less towards Jordan Addison. But I had a feeling that he'd go for more than what I was bidding for Addison.
Would it surprise you that I potentially put all of my free agent budget on Addison after his second touchdown in the Packer game?
When he just
and then
out of his shoes.
Yeah. And then on Monday or Tuesday, I think I came to my senses and I'm like, I don't want to give all of it. Like, surely half of my free agent budget should win me Jordan Addison.
It's funny because I saw Stefan had dropped him on Saturday, so I couldn't pick him up. But when I saw him drop him, I put in a waiver claim right away, and I put it at $5. And then he scores the first touchdown, and I moved it up to 15. And then after that second touchdown, I moved it up to 30. And I said, no more. So I left it. But I'm almost glad that you outbid me for him, because I would have cursed myself.
It gives me a little Jefferson insurance. So
there you go. I mean,
more valuable to me than he is probably to other teams in the league.
That makes it make sense.
So looking ahead, me versus Seth.
You want to do power rankings first?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Super quick. We've got one person here. Hello, one person. Week 5 power rankings.
All right, we've got a new bottom guy.
This is
historic. This is historic. I don't know if Ross has ever been at the bottom.
No, this is the first in my years of being here.
But I had to bump up Tom for getting the win this past week. Had to do it for him. Ross suffered a bad loss. Didn't score a lot of points. Again, and I also peeked at Ross's starting lineup going into this week, and he's going to struggle to win this week if he will. But yeah, Ross is our new 12-man. Tom stays at 11. Stefan is the strongest, I think, of the 1 and 3 teams.
Yeah, I agree. I might have made the case for Stefan above Seth there because Seth's points for is pretty low, but
yeah, the record, it's tough to mix the records too much.
Yeah.
The 2 and 2 teams, I think Seth is definitely the weakest 2 and 2 team. Libby disappointed me this week. I think his team's still pretty solid, but had an off week, so he drops down to 8 from 4. Lucas, strong team. He's the only one that stays put, 7 and 7. I bumped my what?
You made a big jump. I'm glad you believe in yourself a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So I'm feeling confident going in. I like the Addison addition. I potentially like what I'm doing with a trade that I offered Ross. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Sam is definitely the best of the 2 and 2 teams. So he's in there at 2. Although no, yeah, Drew is 3 and 1. Also.
Yes. Hang on. I gotta check. It's gonna change my screen here, but it's worth it. Drew is 2 and 2.
Okay, so I did put Drew
Drew could be further up if not for his record, which have been mostly tough luck losses with bad matchups.
Yeah, so I think Drew is clearly the best 2-2 team. I think I had Sam above him, and then I looked at it again. I'm like, no, Drew definitely should. He has more points for than Sam.
Yep.
And then because you guys are all 3-1, you're up there. I think Wes is the weakest 3-1 team. I still think you have a good team, but I couldn't give you the top spot again because Nathan is cruising.
I also have no depth.
The king is returned.
Yeah, he's back. The regular season champ. Everything would be.
I think he might be back-to-back regular season champion. You never know in the playoffs, but Nathan is he's got a solid team.
He'll get whatever the award that we came up with is for the regular season champ that I can't think of right now.
What did he get to, did he get to pick the matchups?
The matchups or something
for week 1.
Yeah, that's right. Week 1 matchups. We got the Falcons are playing now, and Drake London's already got a touchdown for Ross. Look at that.
Might have spoke too soon on Ross. So it's me versus Seth. I'm projected to win currently, but it's close. We've got Wes versus Libby. Wes currently has 1.5 points from Koo and Bijan. So he is winning. He is projected to win by 6. Tom versus Drew. Little battle of the Nelmans. Tom has some bye week.
He's got some bye weeks to do.
So I don't know what he will be projected by at the end of that, but he is currently projected to lose. Drew has 0.6 points from Baker Mayfield currently. Ross, we already talked about him. He's doing well so far this week. He is still not projected to beat you, who he's playing. So that's going to be a good matchup. Are you actually going with Xavier Legette?
I have look at my bench. I have nobody else to go with.
Don't want to do Cam Akers again?
Well, Mixon is hurt in practice. And so if Mixon is out, then Cam Akers is going to sub in that spot. And I've got 3 people on by. Hawkinson's not ready to come back yet. Neither is Jonathan Brooks. So my bench is a wasteland right now. So I'm just seeing if, since the Red Rifle is slinging for the Carolina offense, if I can catch some fire with Xavier Legette, the rookie.
Love it. Dalton. Someone finally did pick up Sam Darnold. He is on Sam's team.
Oh, all right. You.
Stefan is currently projected to beat Sam.
Is Sam starting Darnold?
No, he's starting Kyler still. Currently. I don't know if he's going to change.
Sam Darnold's better than Kyler Murray right now. I'm not a homer for saying that.
Malik Neighbors is currently out. That's why Sam's not projected. So he's probably going to end up having to sub Malik unless he gets cleared tomorrow because he's currently projected at 7.
I see that. Yeah.
Yep. So that would be probably another Rome Dunze or Jalen Tolbert spot start there because Calvin Ridley is
or Rashawn Johnson.
You could flip it around and get Rashawn in there and move Shakir over. Who do we got? Nathan is playing Lucas. A little bit closer on the projections than I would have initially thought. Lucas is playing Darnell Mooney. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's also got some buys working right now.
And JT's out.
Right. So he's kind of in a tough spot.
But he did get Sermon. He did pick up Sermon. So
Trey Sermon. Who knew he'd be relevant again? But this is a really good matchup, actually, because Nathan is at the top, but I think Lucas is ascending, especially with the way that Derrick Henry's playing. So this is a good prove-it game, I think, for Mr. Poopy.
Who would have thought that Brock Purdy, again, would be deciding regular season fantasy football champions? I think he was Nathan's, or was Tua Nathan's quarterback last year?
I can't remember.
Or did he have both of them? I don't know.
He got Brock for $2 though. It is interesting. Not that I blame him, but he's got Tyreek on his bench right now. But I think who he has in place of him are much better bets.
Rich get richer.
Yeah. You don't even need to start Tyreek Hill.
All right. Well, we started later. Still got nobody to join in on the chat. So congratulations if you were that one person that Tim apparently saw. I didn't see you.
They're there. They're there. Maybe they're too busy watching the Brewers or something. Still nothing.
But
Nothing.
still nothing. Well,
Yeah.
I wish only the worst on that fan base. Who do they play the Phillies if they win?
Yeah. Which is going to be tough.
I got some shopping to do. Fighting Phils, baby.
All right. Well, best of luck to all of you people this week who are not playing me. So that means you, Ross. I hope you lose.
Ross, you can't stay at the bottom of the power rankings forever. This is
Ross,
it's a weird 1 week stint, buddy. You'll be back.
Ross is inevitable. I think he's still inevitable.
Yeah. Well, I wish it was Wes at the bottom rather than you, Ross, if that means anything.
That's a good way to end it. All right.
Football.
Football. I can't make a football shape. Football.